Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici. Welcome once again, my friends, to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. Today we're going to be looking at a series of pens. It's a collection. Chinese manufacturer by the name of Fuliwen 017, that's the model number. And there are 5 pens in that collection, 5 different resins. Just a beautiful, beautiful pen with a beautiful nib and an even more gracious price tab on them. When I saw the first one, I knew immediately that I needed to get the other 4. And please, if anyone has found a 6th model, please let me know, because I will definitely keep growing the collection should that 017 collection grow as well. So without any further ado, let me just switch to my overhead camera and we can proceed to take a look at them more closely. Okay, here they are, along with the inks that we're going to be inking up, or that we've inked up each pen and for our writing sample. Let me start by this one, which is the name is purple green. Simple as that. It's purple and it's green. But take a look at that. Isn't that an absolutely, it's not primary manipulation, because that's a recent invention. You can't compare. That resin is just fabulous. But you know what? It's a precursor. This particular pen, this purple green, and it's not the same for the others, is said to have actually quicksand at the top here. Do you see the little dots there? Apparently that's quicksand, believe it or not. Or at least that's what the description says. But take a look at this resin. I mean, it's just, you've got a combination of purple, green, you've got some yellow in there, different variations of that purple. Just fabulous. So that's the purple green. Let's take a look at the nib right away. That way we can, do that as well. The nib is a Fuliwen medium-sized nib, but I gotta tell you, this thing, and hopefully it won't let me down in the writing sample because I haven't tested these pens for a long time, but you see the roundish point there? That makes the whole difference, It almost writes like a bold. A very, very nice nib. And in most of these pens, I don't think I've ever changed the nibs, just because, and as you know, I'm a fan of stubs, but this medium wet nib had to stay, I think with one exception. So, okay, that's the purple green. This is the blue Danube, and all of the pens came with this snake ring, which prevents it from rolling. It's a roll stopper. I think it's a nuisance, but it adds a little touch because it's easily removed. It's not a permanent situation, but it's a nice snake. It's got some, it even has the eyes there. So that's the blue Danube. And again, just to take a look at that, just that resin is just, I got to tell you that I think I paid these things like $35. It's just a great pen, just a great pen. Oh, by the way, the converter, I think the converter is a nice converter. It's not a cheap one. So there again, you're getting a good international converter. There is I don't know if you see there is a plastic O-ring there. So I think this is an eyedropper as well. So this can be used as an eyedropper. The resin is thick. It's a nice size. Can it be capped? Yes, it can. And the capping doesn't really affect it. It doesn't back weight it at all. So well-designed, beautiful resin pen. And that's the blue Danube. Next is the red marble. Once again, look at, the resin is just very, very, very nice. Precursor to primary manipulation, I got to tell you. Very nice. It has some chatoyancy as well. So that's a nice variation. That's red marble. The next one is Harbour Sunset. Harbour Sunset. Look at that chatoyancy on that. Just beautiful combination of purple, blue, red. Harbour Sunset. Hey, isn't that nice? Very, very nice. Is this the one that has the different nib? No, this one's got the Fuliwen nib as well. I think it's the next one. This was my first purchase. This is what they refer to as Starry Night. And it's a common color, Starry Night, this combination of green, blue, and yellow with, shades of red in it. Again, with the snake. The snake, by the way, you can get in either gold or the silver one, as you see here. And this is the one I believe that I put an old, this is where I put an old Leonardo Officina Bach stub nibs before they changed to Jowo. So we'll test that out as well. And I got a beautiful ink that goes with that that's almost exactly the same color, or at least I'm hoping anyway. So we'll remove that because it's just, as I said, just a nuisance. The inks we'll be using, well, for my red marble, we'll use the Cornalin d'Egypte from Gerbain. For my blue Danube, we'll use the Vinta Azure. For my Harbour Sunset, we'll be using Pen BBS 252. For my purple and green Emeraude de Chivois from Gerbain. And then for my, purple and green, I'm sorry, will be my Hayabusa from Colorverse, glistening ink. And for my blue Danube, I mentioned is Azure. Yeah, the Starry Night, Starry Night is the Emeraude de Chivois, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so those are the pens, those are the inks. Let's take out my journal. Before we get to the journal, just a quick size sampling. You can see the blue Danube is there. I have two of the blue Danube. As compared to my, this is, I believe, hold on, is this the Ranga? No. Yeah, this is the, oh my God, it slipped my mind, I'll come back. This is my Stardust Momento Grande, Momento Zero Grande. This is my Ranga. Yeah, this is my Ranga. That's blue Danube as compared to my my Momento Zero regular size, and this is my Bexley. So here we go, and I just forget the name of the manufacturer. Please forgive me, but as you can tell, it's a nice sized nib. It's bigger than my Momento Zero regular sized, and almost just a few centimeters shorter than my Grande. In terms of girth, when you compare it to the Grande, you can tell it's a nice size pen. So there you go. Okay, good. So let's look at the journal I'm going to use today is the, people have told me, how come you don't use Midori? Well, I do have Midori notebooks. I don't like them. But having said that, I think we should give them a try, right? I do have it, so we'll use the Midori today and see what gives in terms of our writing samples. Okay, let's just do a close-up here. Let me see if I can add some light. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's start with the blue Danube. So this is the Fuliwen blue Danube. Okay, with a medium nib. The ink in this one is the Vinta Azure. And, you know, very, very, very wet medium nib. I really can't complain. I just take out that light because there's a little bit too much glare there. You know, and the nib is very, very smooth. Is it flexible? No. I think it's a pretty rigid nib. I mean, I could give it a little bit of line variation, but, you know, I'll spring the nib, so I'd rather not. And with this Vinta, which has a little bit of a red sheen, it kind of matches the little bit of red sheen that you see in the resin there. That's the Fuliwen Danube. Next is my blue-green, or my purple-green, excuse me, and this is my Colorverse. So this is the Fuliwen purple-green. And now I'm starting to doubt whether or not I call this blue-green. It's not blue-green, it's purple-green, as you can obviously see. If I called it blue-green, my apologies. This one has the medium nib, and you can tell right away the difference with the ink compared to this one, which is a dry, much drier ink. This Colorverse just goes on nice and wet, really, really thick. So that's, and surprisingly, because it is a glistening ink from Colorverse, so it does have sparkling and shimmer in there, but still fairly smooth. Doesn't affect the writing at all. So that's the Fuliwen purple-green. Next on our list is the Fuliwen red marble with the medium nib, and the ink is the Cornaline d'Egypte from J. Herbin. Forgot to mention the ink here, or forgot to write it. Here again, that's a beautiful ink from J. Herbin, by the way. You see, this is why I don't like medium and fine nibs. You just don't get the, you know, if I would have used my stub, you would have seen the shimmer. And it's also this paper. This is Midori. I mean, it's fine. It's a fountain pen friendly paper, but it's very thick and it has some feedback, and I just don't like the paper. But having said that, the pen and the nib, very smooth. A little bit of line variation if I stretch it. Okay. Let me just rise that a little bit. Here we go. And this is the Fuliwen. Wow. Again, the difference with the ink. This is my Harbour Sunset. Isn't that almost a match? And it's the pen BBS 252. I've got a medium nib on it. And, you know, no hesitation whatsoever. Very nice. A little bit of line variation, but there you go. Isn't that a wonderful ink? Pen BBS 252. Went crazy trying to get it because we couldn't. They had to go through a trader, and now I think you can get them probably on AliExpress. But at the time I purchased it, it was a mess. It took me 2 months to get those inks. Okay, now this is my Starry Night. It's the first one I purchased, and this one's got a stub nib. So let's you see the difference. Fuliwen, Starry Night. And this is a Bach stub. The ink is the Emeraude de Chivoire. From J. Herbin. And I just want to make sure I have enough space here to just, what a big difference when you use a stub nib. We should all use stub nibs. Okay, here we go. I mean, the live variation is obvious. Here's my Emeraude de Chivoire. So those are my 5 pens. Now, just lift it up there. I think, even though I'm biased with my final stub nibs, I still think that the original nib on these things are just great. And for people who do like medium or fine, and there's several, and probably most of you, I think I'm the exception, that like stub nibs. Let me know, by the way, do you guys use stub nibs, or do you prefer fine, extra fine, and medium? And if so, tell me why. Why would you prefer them? I mean, sometimes just a handwriting has got to be smaller to fit in certain places, I guess. But I don't know why we would use a fine nib. In any event, that's just my my impression. I hope you enjoyed it. That's the end of this video. And please subscribe and join me in my next video. Fountain pen therapy for all.